Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the show. All right, guys. So today we're going to be doing a trading card review. It's not my first time, if you guys know. If you've been watching my channel for years, I've been doing, uh, trading card reviews for a while. I've reviewed everything from DC cards to Marvel cards to Spawn cards, you name it. You name it. So today we're going to be looking at Valiant. Now, if you guys are not familiar with Valiant, I guess the best known character from Valiant would be Bloodshot. So we're going to take a look at these cards, and if you're wondering, it is from the year 1993. I don't know how many cards there are altogether. I'm guessing it looks like it says 120 cards. We're going to go down memory lane if you guys are fans of Valiant, or maybe you're not. Anyways, it'll give you an idea of Valiant. This is, I believe, the complete set. It might be missing a few cards, like a lot of sets. But anyways, we're going to take a look at some of the amazing artwork right here. And here is, of course, Magnus Robot Hunter. If you guys are not familiar with Robot Hunter, man, 1992, there's the Valiant. Upper Deck. It was Upper Deck that produced these cards. And yeah, if you're a little familiar, or if you're not familiar with Magnus Hunter or Magnus Robot Hunter, then I suggest giving a comic book a read. Came out in the 90s. And then here are some of the cards. I don't know, what number was this? This is number zero. Number zero. For some reason, cards like that, they always went number zero, number one, number two. I'm pretty sure, I'm gonna put these in like a plastic sleeve just to preserve some of these cards, and they are amazing, man. Just the artwork is just so freaking retro. Number three, number two, number three. Man, the artwork is just absolutely amazing on it. I'm gonna try to go through these as quickly as possible because I don't want to keep you guys here all day long. So if you guys want a better, image of these cards, then you can always pause it and take a look at some of the amazing artwork. And this is still Magnus Robot Hunter, Robot Fighter. I don't know. I don't know why I keep saying Robot Hunter. For some reason, Robot Hunter just sounds a little bit better. But I remember when I was young in the 90s, I remember buying my first Magnus Robot Hunter Fighter. Shit! And I think it's number one. I think I got the number one issue. But yeah, that's a movie I would definitely love to see. But it's focusing right now as you go through the cards. It's focusing on Magnus, and then it's going to focus on other characters from Valiant. Look at that! Look at that! I don't know what's going on with her boobs. One is covered up and one is not. One is slipping out. And then there is Valiant, and then there's Turok. I believe that's Turok. Turok Dinosaur Hunter. For those who are not familiar with Turok, I'm pretty sure Magnus had many battles in the Valiant universe. Really, really cool. And like I said, I'm gonna try to go through this as quickly as possible because I don't want this to be like a 20-minute video, even though we have 120 cards to look at. I feel like it's gonna be a 20-minute video regardless, but yeah. I don't know what Magnus was wearing back then. He was wearing a skirt back then. That was his style, but I think they changed up his style. This is one thing. This is one comic I definitely would love to see brought to the big screen, minus the skirt. But there are so many cool, interesting storylines to Magnus. It's just so damn awesome. And then here we have Solar Man of Atom, for Man of Atom. So now it's going to a different character. I believe I remember hearing of Solar Man of Atom. Jeez, why is that so hard to say? Really cool. Solar, the crazy characters, man, that they had back in the day. I mean, they're not necessarily crazy because if you look at some of the characters that we worship today, Spider-Man, if you think of it as kind of a dumb concept, Superman, They've only survived because they're older, characters, and we grew up on them. Looking at some of these characters, I mean, compared to some of the other characters, like, I mean, shit. Look at an action figure like Cable. I mean, if you think about it, it's kind of stupid. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, all characters I think are kind of dumb in a way. If you think about it, they're dumb in a very, very cool way. I don't know what this is. Still Solar. It's just a black card. And I think probably every 24 cards there's a new character theme going on. It's still Solar. Love that artwork, man. I love these kind of comics because they just went berserk. They had the storylines were just all over the place, and they can go anywhere. They can do anything. I guess it's kind of like how Marvel evolved. Where in the '90s the '90s and the 2000s, the storylines got a little bit more crazier. Crazy storylines. X-Men has some crazy storylines where they could pretty much go anywhere. I think X-Men just kind of took it. Well, actually, no. I think, Silver Surfer. I think, well, the Marvel Universe kind of saw what these companies were doing in the 90s, and then decided to, oh, let's take it a step further. We can go, hey, we can pretty much do anything. We got this guy who has all these amazing freaking superpowers. We pretty much can do anything and tell any kind of story, you know what I mean? So now we're on Harbinger. There he is right there. Harbinger. I know nothing about Harbinger. But one thing about like about these cards, like I said, is the amazing artwork. And it's going to look really, really awesome when you put them in the sleeve, which I'm going to do. And the cards are in really great condition. So kudos to the person who had these cards before me and who took great care of them. Did an amazing job. And are we still on Harbinger? Harbinger. If you guys know anything about Harbinger, let me know. If you guys know any stories on any of the Valiant figures, go ahead and leave it in my comment section. I'll pin it to my page. But here is Harbinger. Harbinger, bro. 10 years from now, they're going to be doing a movie of Harbinger. people are going to come back to this and like, oh, look at that Harbinger. This asshole is making fun of Harbinger. How dare you make fun of our amazing Harbinger character. Look at that, very Spawn DC Batman-esque, kind of like the cover. Yeah, it makes me wonder who did these. It doesn't say who did the artwork for these characters. If you guys want to shed any light on the Valiant or any of the characters, let me know. We're still on Harbinger. Look at that artwork, man. That's so awesome. Thinking about the future. Very futuristic stuff. Oh, here we are. Now we're on Exo. I remember Exo. Exo Man o' War. Is that right? Man o' War. Look at that, man. That's some beautiful artwork right there. Really, really cool. And if you're asking, hey dummy, can we read the back? I can't do it with every freaking card, and I'm not going to read the entire story of the back of the card because it's going to take me. This is going to be a 20-minute video will turn into a 2-hour video, and I'm sure you guys don't want to hear me read. Really, really cool stuff, man. This one day, eventually, there's 2 cards stuck together. One day, somebody will be making, because Hollywood is always looking for ideas, someday they'll be making movies based on these characters. Look at that. That's so awesome. I love that. The hand coming out of the cybernetic ground, the cybernetic parts. Really cool. I'm guessing it's this guy right here. Still Exo. Yeah, if Hollywood's looking for ideas, here you go, man. I would love to see, man, just can you imagine some of these characters being brought to the big screen? Speaking of, here's Bloodshot. Oh no, this is Rye. I remember Ray. Look at that beautiful card. That's an awesome piece of artwork. I remember this guy. I don't know the storyline for, is it Ray or Rye? I have a buddy who comments on here all the time. Ray K. Look at that. That's so freaking awesome, man. Love it. Look at that. Look at that, man. That's a beautiful piece right there. Jeez, man. I love that. That's so awesome. Such great stuff, man. I love 90s artwork. 90s artists just had an amazing take on characters and figures and what they can do. I think the 90s is when, you know, comic artists became a lot more expressive in their artwork. You know what I mean? Specifically, just look at this. Look at the glass, all the shards of glass. And this is what I mean by being expressive. Some of these pieces, man, they could be like a what do you call it? Dali artwork. Salvador Dali artwork, man. Really cool. Just really cool. It's so cool just looking at some of these images of like these characters that a lot of these characters don't even freaking exist anymore. And we're on Shadow Man right now. Speaking of a character that I don't think exists anymore, Shadow Man. Oh, here's one. Unity. Oh, they might be mixed up here. Oh no, they're not. It's going on to a different, maybe Shadow Man wasn't that popular. Now we're on to Unity. Okay, Shadow Man didn't last that long. Archer and Armstrong. Archer and Armstrong. Interesting. All right, we have just a few more to go through, guys. If you stuck with me through this entire shindig, I just want to say thank you. Go down memory lane and check out some of these obscure comics and characters. That's like a nice family portrait. Archer and Armstrong. I don't know if we have. I don't think we'll have Turok in here. Turok might have been beef after these cards were released. These were 92. I can't remember. I think Nintendo 64 Turok. Was Turok based on the comic? If you guys know, let me know. Was Turok based on the comic book Eternal Warrior first, or was there a video game first and then they decided to do the comic book? Let me know. Look at this guy. Eternal Warrior. Look at this, man. That's beautiful right there, man. And this is somebody different. Eternal Warrior. Look at that. Look at this artwork. Look at this, bro. You could put this in the art gallery, man. This looks like some of the art that I see in art galleries today. Really cool. Talking about not Masad. What is the word I'm looking for? Androgynous. Very androgynous, should I say? Eternal Warrior. This was going on in the 90s, man. Can you imagine if all the people crying about all this bullshit that's going on now? Can you imagine if you release an androgynous character right now? In the 80s and 90s, you can get away with it because dudes were wearing makeup. Like, for instance, here's Hardcorpse. For instance, if a guy like Prince were to come out today, man, he'd get so much freaking hate and backlash. You know what I mean? But being that Prince came out in the 80s, it was no big deal because in the 80s, you could pretty much do anything. Here's Bloodshot right here. 80s, you can get away with anything. If you're a guy, you dress like a woman, and nobody was bitching and complaining. Well, there were people bitching and complaining, but anyways. Here is the checklist right here. There's the checklist right there on 2 cards. All right, guys, if you tuned in to watch this little review of I don't know what to call this. Valiant's trading cards, Upper Deck. I just want to thank you guys for watching. We kept it under 15 minutes, 15 minutes exactly. I just want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next review. Peace out.